Okay, so if you want to go, just repeat that. What is gut health?
Okay, so I was just trying to explain before that, sorry, ladies, that I'm repeating myself, but I just wanted to try and give you a little bit of a background as to what, when we talk about gut health, what actually is gut health. And a lot of the time it's an inflammation in the lining of the gut. And it's all connected to the microbiomes and the balancing of the microbiomes in your stomach. We get prebiotics and probiotics and good bacteria and bad bacteria. And in majority of cases, the bad bacteria tends to take over the good bacteria, and that's what lands up actually causing a lot of imbalance in the gut, which causes a lot of imbalance in the body as well. And this is what causes a lot of discomfort and a lot of different health issues which is caused by the gut and the inflammation in the gut. So as I was saying before, also that a lot of times things like celiac and things like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, things like Crohn's disease. When you're born with it, it's a totally different story. But when you actually develop it later on in your life, and I'm talking about even at the age of your teens and things like that, when all of a sudden you start developing either a sensitivity to gluten or a sensitivity to certain foods, and Crohn's develops, then often it can be something completely different that's creating the inflammation. But so instead of just treating the symptoms that you're feeling, it's really important to dive in a little bit deeper to find out what's actually causing that. Because things like autoimmune conditions don't just come. It doesn't just happen. Something has to trigger it in order for the body to start attacking itself, or for it to start manifesting in the body. And often it's not the things that you think it is. Stress is a major issue.
I was going to say that stress or trauma or any of those things could be, and I know that psychologists and therapists often talk about that. They say that, I'm concerned, or just be careful, or take care of yourself, because you could trigger an autoimmune disease of some kind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a real biggie. But the thing is that the other thing that I want to go back to is, I just want to explain to everybody here, because I don't think many of you know me, and I just want to give a little brief
give a background into who you are,
into why I do what I do, and who I actually am, and who am I to actually be giving a talk like this. As I said, my name, as Michelle introduced me, my name is Bev Liebson, and I was diagnosed with Graves' disease, which is a thyroid condition. It's an autoimmune condition when I was pregnant with my first child. And before I continue this, I just want to say that I do not favor conventional medicine over alternative medicine, or alternative medicine over conventional medicine. As far as I'm concerned, they are both exceptionally important for each other, and I believe that they really can complement each other if they are used together. So as much as I've had a really bad experience with conventional medicine, I've also had just as bad an experience with alternative medicine as well. After I was diagnosed with Graves' disease, I had radioactive iodine to destroy part of my thyroid. And I was told, no, don't worry, everything will be fine. You just need to take a pill, and you will live your life, a very normal life from then onwards, which is my doctor's greatest last words. And I always joke about it, because it wasn't like that at all. It took me 10 years to balance my hormones in my body because of this. I was pregnant 12 times. I had 9 miscarriages and lost 4 sets of twins. After my last set of twins that I lost, I developed 3 different kinds of autoimmune challenges, if I can call it that. I was diagnosed with 3 different types of psoriasis, which I'd never suffered from in my life before. which progressed into psoriatic arthritis. And at the time that I was diagnosed, I had a baby at home and I had another 2 children. And you know, nobody knows me here except for Daniela, but she knows I'm a very active person and I'm a very positive person. And it took me down. It really did. I couldn't walk properly. I couldn't work properly. I couldn't do anything because it had attacked my joints so badly that yeah, I really couldn't function properly. So what happened was, is from going from doctor to doctor and going from alternative medicine to alternative medicine, which is something that I'll go into just now. Nobody could find out what was causing this, what happened, why this was all happening to me. And I got to a stage where I was on biological medication that my body had a terrible reaction to. And I'd always been involved in researching and finding out about what was wrong with me. But I landed up actually taking it to a different level. And I turned around to my husband the one day, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what the reason was. I don't know. And I just said, look, if I don't take my health into my own hands, I feel like I'm actually going to die. Because I was almost like I felt like I was a hamster in one of those wheels, just running and running and running and going nowhere. So I landed up actually studying the psychology of eating. And I researched autoimmune conditions as much as I possibly could, and I still do to this day. And I just want to teach people and give people the understanding to be able to just to understand their health situation, be able to catch the signs before they develop into something more serious. Because when you're desperate, you do desperate things. You spend money without thinking. You look for any kind of relief that you possibly can. And unfortunately, not everybody's caring and giving and trusting out there. And people take advantage of people in that situation. And I know that I experienced it enormously. And that's why for me, all I want to do is my passion and my goal is just to help and educate you to become your own health advocate, to really understand your body, to really be able to use and to understand that you've got a medicine, you've got a pharmacy in your kitchen. It's hilarious to say it, but you do. It's just a matter of learning what those different herbs and spices and greens can do for you, and how you can put them together and completely change the way you feel. So that's just how I got to where I am now and why I do what I do. Thank goodness, since 2019, I am completely in remission. I have no arthritis at all in my body, and I am 98% psoriasis free. So something that I'm doing is working. So I just want to share it with everybody else so they can do the same. And just really trust themselves and really see the signs in your body. So yeah, so that's just a little bit about my background and why I do what I do. Now, to go on to the talk, we put so much emphasis, everybody, on what we eat. Oh my goodness, I'm so bad because I eat chocolates, or I'm so bad because I eat sugar. I eat huge amounts of sugar. But what we don't really realize is it's not only about what you eat. It's about how you eat, when you eat. Are you a fast eater, a moderate eater, a slow eater? Do you eat under stress? What is your relationship with food? Do you enjoy food, or do you, as I say, do you eat to live, or do you live to eat? And there's a huge difference in that, a huge difference. So, I mean, I don't know how many of you suffer from weight issues or have tried to lose weight or have tried to gain weight, but I'm going to talk a little bit on the side, just a little bit about losing weight. How many of you have actually been on a diet where you have done everything you're supposed to do. You eat the salads and you chew on them and you look at them and you think to yourself, I hate what I'm eating. I can't believe I'm eating this. I hate it. I'm not enjoying it, but I'm doing it because I have to lose weight. And you get to the end of the week and you find that either you haven't lost an ounce or you've actually landed up putting on weight. I don't know if it's happened.
Does this also include belly fat from the point of view of menopause?
Definitely. Well, menopause is a completely different situation because with menopause, our whole hormonal system changes.
Well, that's why I brought it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about when you are going through menopause or you in premenopause or you post-menopause, your whole body changes. And there's one tip that I can give everybody that is it's foolproof. And I'll tell you now that it's foolproof, is that you eat, first of all, everybody's an individual. So it doesn't, your quantities and how you eat is not a cookie cutter effect, because I don't know how you all live your lives. I don't know whether you work, whether you're retired, what you enjoy eating, whether you eat breakfast, whether you don't eat breakfast. So everybody's an individual. So everybody's needs and everybody's metabolism is very, very, very different. So what I'm saying, the one thing I can say that will definitely affect everybody is that once you have gone through menopause or you're going through change of life and the hormones change and your metabolism changes, eating at night creates belly fat. You've got to stop eating. 7:30 must be cut off. 8 o'clock on a day-to-day basis. Okay, I'm not saying that it's cast in stone and you can never eat after those hours, because that's impossible. Fridays, Saturdays, whatever, chagim, whatever it is, you make exceptions, but on a daily basis, when you eat after 7:30 at night, you tend to put on weight around your stomach, because you can't metabolize the food. There's nothing to help your what's the word I'm looking for? Your metabolism really, really, really slows down at night. During the day, it's almost like the sun. It's called the circadian phase. It's when you wake up in the morning, that's generally when your digestion is starting to wake up and it's starting to move and it's starting to get invigorated, if I can call it that. Then by 12 o'clock, you should have breakfast round about between 9 and 11. Then lunch at between 1 and about 2:30, or 12 and 2:30. And then afternoon, a snack or whatever between at around 4-ish. And then you eat at around 6 and then you stop. What's it, as they say, breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, and supper like a pauper. That's generally the suggestion when you're going through menopause or you are after menopause.
And this, can I just interrupt to say this is those of you who were on the call when we had both Jackie Rose and Karen Fabrish, who are the menopause coaches. They both spoke exactly about this calendar of our bodies and how important it is. And they also say that if you are going to get into exercise, whether it's been going for that walk or going to the gym or doing those Pilates exercises or the yoga or whatever it is, the best time to do that is in the morning, and not to do it late at night or not to do it in the evenings, but rather to just do that. Maybe if you want to do some kind of movement with your body because you've been sitting for a long time during the day, is to rather just stretch and do, maybe even go for a short walk or something along those lines, but not to do the heavy exercise at night because it also affects the sleep, but to rather to do it in the morning where possible. And for those of us who work in the morning, then, it may mean getting up earlier, but going to bed earlier so that you can get everything that you need to get into your day done. Your well-being.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, so as I was saying, and I just want to go back to that diet that I was talking to you about when you are eating everything that you're supposed to eat, and then at the end of the week, you either don't lose weight or you actually land up putting on weight. There is a science behind that, and that's stress. In the sense of, what is stress? Stress is any physical or emotional threat on the body and how the body responds to that. Now, that is a really, really, really important thing for people to for everybody to understand, because the body doesn't know whether it's a physical threat or whether it's an emotional threat. It cannot tell the difference. So when you sit down and you look at something in front of you, whether it's a piece of cake, whether it's a salad, whatever, it makes no difference what it is that you are about to condemn, let's say that. So you sit down and you're all rearing and ready and you're about to eat this, and you look at it and you go, oh my gosh, how can I eat this? Whether it's a salad, I hate salad, but I'm eating it because I have to eat it. What you're doing is you're stressing your body out. It's the same as a piece of cake or a piece of chocolate or an ice cream. If you decide that you want to eat that ice cream, you must eat it with every bit of ounce of happiness and joy and excitement that you possibly can, because you must get those endorphins going, because then your body really experiences it and it enjoys it. You don't put on 5 kilos from eating an ice cream, I promise you. But if you sitting there and you're saying, oh my gosh, I'm eating this ice cream, I shouldn't be eating this ice cream, I'm going to put on weight from this ice cream, it's not good for me, it's not healthy, I'm allergic to this, but I want the ice cream. You've put your body into stress straight away. And why is it a problem to get your body into stress before you start eating? Because it slows down your digestion, by 70%. Because your body goes into fight, flight, freeze mode, exactly. And what is the one what is the one thing that you don't need when you go into that phase? It's your body digesting food. So of course, all your strength and all your adrenaline goes to your different extremities to help you get out of that position. And your digestion closes down so that it's able to give your body that adrenaline to be able to get out of whatever situation, stressed situation, threatened situation that it is. And that's why what happens at the end of the week, when you are constantly stressing yourself out before you eating, happens because your body completely your digestion closes down, and there's no way that you can lose weight when you're constantly putting yourself under stress. The other thing that creates that is fast eating. When you sit down and you just gobble your food, you don't actually taste it. You can sit down and let's say you are distracted, you're either watching TV, you're reading a book, you're working on the computer, you're doing something that's not concentrated on the meal. In a situation like that, first of all, you eat way more than you should eat because it takes 20 minutes for your stomach to realize that it's full. And when you're not concentrating on what you're eating, you don't realize that you're full until you're already at that stage where you think, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. That also happens when you overeat, when you eat very, very fast, because you're so busy putting the food into your mouth that your stomach can't even say, hey, sorry, I'm full, because it's just happening so quickly. A lot of times people say that they've eaten something and about an hour, they have their meal, and then an hour or an hour and a half later, they come and they say, wow, I feel starving. Even though I've eaten my supper or my lunch or whatever it is, I am starving. It feels like I haven't eaten. What happens in that kind of a situation, because you are distracted, not only do you eat and it goes down your digestive system and all that, your body feels like you've eaten, but your brain has to go through the process of eating as well. And what I mean by that is if you're sitting in front of the TV or you're doing something else and you're eating a meal and you finish that meal and you like take your laugh back and you like think to yourself, oh my gosh, you know, like I didn't even realize that I'd finished eating. I can't even remember what I've eaten. What happens is that the brain hasn't gone through the motions of tasting the food, smelling the food, chewing the food, swallowing the food. So what lands up happening is that the brain is saying to the stomach, hey, excuse me, I haven't eaten, I'm hungry. But the stomach is saying, but what do you mean you're hungry? We've just finished eating. And there's a miscommunication between the brain and the stomach. So that's why you get that feeling that you're still hungry an hour or 1.5 hours after you've eaten, because your brain hasn't experienced eating, because it's been busy concentrating on whatever else it was that we were doing while we were eating. So these, sorry.
I'll just interrupt you here and then just go and recap that by saying that we very much need to have our focus on our food that we are eating at the time and not be distracted with the book, the computer, or talking to other people or whatever it is, but rather to be focusing on our food from every aspect. So then the brain and the body can connect together with the meal of what we are doing.
Absolutely.
And so then whatever we eat is enough and we're full, and therefore we're not hungry an hour later and looking for the chocolate or the cake or the ice cream or whatever else it is.
Yeah, very much so. And then that takes us into another side of things where I don't know if anybody experiences, well, if I have chocolate in my house, I can't have one piece, I have to have the whole slab. Or
hands up those who agree with that.
okay. Now this all plays into the same situation as the eating side of things. Because when you're telling yourself, I can't have that. And if I have that, I've got to have all or nothing, because that's what we say to ourselves. It's either all or it's nothing. So either if I have it in my house, I'm eating the whole slab. Otherwise, I must not have chocolate in my house. I must not have biscuits in my house. I must not have anything like that in my house. Now, what you're doing is you are, what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, you're depriving yourself of these things. So what lands up happening is that when you do see these things, or you do allow yourself to have them in the house, you've got the programming that you've already told yourself 100 times, that it's got nothing to do with willpower, by the way, everybody. It's got nothing to do with willpower. It's the story that you are telling yourself. You are constantly telling yourself it's either all or it's nothing. But what about and when you do eat it, how many of us take it and just almost like stuff ourselves, like it's you're never going to see it again. And then when you finished, you feel so sick and you say, well, why did I do that? I could have just had a little bit. Why did I do that? We all do it. And the one thing I want to say is it's the story you're telling yourselves. And that's exactly the reason why we are going to do this chocolate exercise. So I want you to all go get your chocolate and bring it next to you.
That is running. Adrian, go get your chocolate.
Good.
Cecily, you got your chocolate?
No.
You're not going to do the exercise with us?
No.
That's okay.
Okay. Irene, have you got your chocolate? Let's see. Got to have evidence. Oh, good for you. Marianne, no chocolate. And you got yours?
Okay, now has everybody got a piece?
Yeah.
have you got a piece of paper and a pen with you as well? Because I need to
No.
ask you a few questions. If you don't mind, if you've got one, that would be great. No, Danny, you're not allowed.
So should I write this down in the chat, all the questions you're asking, so that people can see it?
You can, but it's just a matter. I just need a little bit of feedback, so it's just for them to write their own little notes.
I'll write in the chat and everybody.
Okay. Now I want everybody to take a piece of chocolate in their hand and just eat it. Eat it like you would normally eat a piece of chocolate. Just a cube of chocolate. Tell me when you're finished.
I've never ever had a Zoom call with all these ladies just enjoying chocolate and nobody talking.
Oh, I'm so happy. So happy. Okay, you all finished? No. Okay. Just tell me when you finish.
I've forgotten the instruction. Was it one piece?
No. Just eat your, yes, one piece in at the moment. You'll have your second piece in a second. Okay, are we all finished?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Now, take your pen and paper. First question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you enjoy that? How tasty was it? 1 being the least, 10 being the best. Okay, second question. What elements and flavors did you notice? Was it sweet? Was it fatty? Was it bitter? Was it salty? Okay. Third question.
Sorry,
Oh, sorry.
Question?
Sorry.
What elements and flavors
did you notice?
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10. Okay. Next one. Did you notice an aroma? Yes or no? Okay. On the fourth question. How quickly did you eat it? How many chews? Very fast, slowly, medium? The next one. Approximately how many chews before you swallowed it?
Too soft. No chew.
I love that. Okay, number 6. How does your body and digestion feel right now? What emotions did you have, if any, while you were eating the chocolate? Were you anxious? Were you excited? Were you calm, happy, bored, or nothing? Okay, you all finished?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, take your second piece of chocolate. Smell it. Just touch it with your hands. Look at it. Okay, put it in your mouth, and you're not allowed to chew it. You have to suck it. And I want you to swirl it. Don't swallow. I want you to keep it in your mouth, let it melt, and just swirl it in your mouth, round and round in your mouth, and feel every aspect of the chocolate. and don't swallow. Eventually, when it's completely melted, swallow it. Just let me know when you're all finished.
Mm.
Wow, I never knew that 1 cube of chocolate could take so long to eat.
Everyone finished?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Okay, I'm going to ask exactly the same questions again, and I want you to put the second answer next to the first answer. Okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, how tasty was your chocolate? Number 2, what elements and flavors did you notice? Number 3, did you notice the aroma? Yes or no? On a scale of 1 to 10, how quickly did you eat this chocolate?
Is one slow or one fast?
No, 1 is slow and 10 is fast. Okay, I'm not going to ask you the how many times did you chew because you weren't supposed to, but if you did, please put down if you did. And in the 6th question, how does your body and digestion feel right now? And what emotions did you have, if any, while you were eating the chocolate? Okay, is everyone finished?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I want you to take your 3rd piece of chocolate. And I want you to do exactly the same as what you did the second time, except chew it a little bit and keep it in your mouth, and then as long as you can, and then swallow it. But try and suck it as much as possible. Just let me know when you're all finished. Finished?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to answer the same questions again. On a scale from 1 to 10, how tasty was it? Number 2, what elements and flavors did you notice? Did you notice an aroma? Number 4, on a scale of 1 to 10, how quickly did you eat it? Being fast, slow, moderate. Number 5, approximately how many times did you chew before swallowing it? And the 6th one, how does your body and digestive feel right now? What emotions did you have, if any, while eating it? Just let me know when you're all finished. Finished? Everyone finished?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to ask everybody to share their answers, but I want you to have a look at your answers, and I want you to have a look at the difference between the first piece of chocolate, the second piece of chocolate, and the third piece of chocolate. Okay. And now I'm going to ask you who feels like a fourth piece. But
I was hoping you wouldn't ask.
But what about the whole slab?
No.
Can you see what's happened? When you become mindful and you allow yourself to enjoy it, and you really appreciate it, and you really enjoy it, and you don't just eat it without thinking, or with telling yourself the story that, oh my goodness, I've got to eat as much as I possibly can, otherwise I can't have any. If we're really mindful in eating it and enjoying it and really experiencing the ambiance of it, if I can call it that, because it is. Each thing that we eat has its own ambiance, and we've just got to create that. We've just got to become aware with it. And it's not something that you have to spend hours and hours. This took us, what, 10 minutes? But when you really appreciate it, you don't need huge amounts, because you don't need it, because you experience it. So 3 pieces of chocolate, who's happy to have 4 pieces of chocolate when they feel like a piece, you know what I mean, instead of a slab? And that goes with everything. It goes with cake, it goes with biscuits, it goes with cereals. Whatever you find is your Achilles heel, if I can call it that you just can't get enough of, or you really limit yourself to, because you don't trust yourself with it. You do this kind of an exercise, and you'll be amazed that you don't really need as much as you think you do, and you are very much in control of what you really need. That's just a little thing, and it's an amazing, amazing exercise. It works with everything.
So in other words, what you're talking about is the mindset around the whole thing as well.
Of
Okay.
course.
Yeah. So it's a mindset around the way that and the talk that we give ourselves and the conversations that we're having in our heads about the kind of people we are and who we are and what we should or shouldn't do.
Absolutely. And that affects everything. I
Yeah.
mean, I can sit and watch you eat a plate of food, and I will be able to tell you exactly how you live your life. It's phenomenal. Think about it. Think about you eating a plate of food.
Mm.
Generally, you'll find that somebody that eats exceptionally fast and gobbles everything up, that's how they live their lives. They run and they're busy and they don't have time. They're on the run and they're doing and they're changing and they're always on the run. And somebody who eats very, very slowly and chews their food and enjoys their food, you'll find that they're much calmer in their lives. They live their lives more mindfully.
נכון.
It's fascinating. It's really it's not just food on the plate and you eating it up, and there is so much behind it. There really is. And just understanding that and understanding how your body reacts to that and how your body reacts to anything. Exercise. You don't have to go to Pilates. You don't have to go to yoga. You don't have to do go for a walk. Go for a walk. A 20-minute walk. And it doesn't have to be a brisk walk. Just walk and breathe and appreciate what's around you. Look at the trees. Just stop and just appreciate what we've got. And it changes everything.
Also, if I can bring in here, when you're talking about that with going for that walk, and then some people say, oh, but I've only got 10 minutes, what's the point? But in actual fact, those 10 minutes and 10 minutes and 10 minutes and 10 minutes all add up to that hour that you've moved your body more during that week than you would have otherwise.
Exactly.
So each little bit helps. It doesn't matter whether you do stretching exercises at home because you can't get out for whatever the reasons are, or you want to go for that walk because you can go for it, or do any kind of other exercise. It's so important, even those 5-10 minutes of moving our bodies is vital.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. You can't, for the ladies that find it very difficult with movement, that can't walk, that find it very difficult to walk, chair exercises. I think chair exercises are one of the best inventions I think I've ever come across.
And you can get them on YouTube for nothing.
Everything, for free.
It doesn't cost anything. YouTube has got fabulous ones. If anybody wants, let me know. I've got a whole link of different ones.
And
Pilates, yoga, walking.
It's truly, truly amazing. You have no idea how fantastic it is. You don't have to get up and run around and walk. You know, the walking is amazing, but if you can't, there's so many other alternatives.
Yeah.
They really are. It's just, I mean, I'm talking from experience purely because my mother's in a retirement village and she can't walk that well. And she started this chair exercises. She's like a different person.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It really, really is. It's phenomenal. And it all helps with digestion. It helps with your general health. All these little things. I mean, I can do another whole thing on
feel good.
herbs and everything in your kitchen and how you, I mean, there's just so much. There's just really so much, but I'm just trying to keep to as much as I can give you in this time.
Well, we certainly will be asking you to come back and do a talk on those kinds of things like herbs and spices and what we have in our kitchens, because if they can help us, then we would definitely like to hear about it. I'm sure everybody else agrees with me on this. And I think it's an important part of taking care of ourselves, which, as everybody knows, I'm absolutely passionate about. And the self-care, you obviously being a well-being coach, Bev, feels the same way. And there's so much. And it's just literally like we saw with the chocolate and the exercise, speaking now about exercise, it's our whole attitude towards life and towards the way we lead our lives. and don't think that you're not entitled to it, because you know it's not only an entitlement, but it's an actual obligation to take care of ourselves. So we have to look at it that way and enjoy life at the same time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it even more because you'll be more aware of it.
Absolutely. Especially if we can savor the chocolate the way we did now instead of just gobbling it down. Okay, so anything else you want to add, Bev, before we go to questions and answers? And
No, unless anybody will, I mean, I'm very happy to answer some questions or whatever. If there's other things
Okay.
that come up that people ask, I've got no problem answering. But
okay, all right. So I'm going to cut the recording shortly, but before I do, I just want to mention two things that are happening for me in Michelle Friedman coaching, which I'm very, very excited about. The number one is that Bev and I have teamed up together and we are starting a podcast. And our podcast is called Loving Life.
Oh, nice.
So, and we're going to be discussing these kinds of things like we were having tonight, about talking about gut health, about taking care of ourselves, mindset, and much, much more is going to come in. We will also, in time, be inviting specialist guests onto the calls as well and interviewing them too. So please, you're going to be getting my newsletter and you will be hearing more about that very, very shortly. In fact, we are doing our first recording tomorrow. So that's the number one thing, which I'm very, very excited about. And number two is I'm starting a group coaching program in November, at the end of November. It's coming at a very, very discounted rate. We'll be meeting once a week for 6 weeks. And again, talking about living life at the age of 50 plus. And also, it's going to be based a lot on mindset, getting into it, and it's going to come at a very, very, very special price, particularly for Steel Sisters members. So I just thought I would mention that now, and you will be hearing much more about it in the near future. Okay, so I'm going to cut the recording, and then we will go to questions and answers. All right, so just give me
Okay.
1 second.